We have a new card! In this Glimmer Bomb, Teddy, Spencer, and Blake take a look at the new piece of info we have for the game and what it may mean. Enjoy, and everyone, take it away. So here we have Glimmer Bomb number 2 with some very exciting news. We have a new card, our first D23. So this card's name is Dragonfire. It has a picture of Dragon Form Maleficent on it. It's an action card. So this is something that's very new. We have never seen an action card before. All we've had is the 7 characters. It is a cost of 5, and then its effect is banish chosen character. So guys, what are your thoughts on this?
One of the things I want to point out first is with the image that they've shown of this card, they still haven't shown the lower third of the card. So there is a lot of speculation going on there as to if there's still some more to be seen with this card. Like, is it just going to be some flavor text, or are there more unrevealed mechanics in play with what hasn't been revealed on that bottom half of the card yet?
Yeah, I think the big thing on that front is that unlike all of the character cards that we've seen so far, there are no little what the community's been calling lore pips on the side for this action, which in my opinion makes sense for an action card. But some people are speculating that it could possibly be that they move them to the bottom of the card instead of to the side. But I think it's just there, one, just for aesthetic reasons, but primarily to cover up any information about the set number, anything like that would typically be found at the bottom of the card. Because we see the little border that they use to separate rules text from flavor text. And so traditionally anything under that border is flavor text. So I wouldn't expect any new effects for the card. So I think it's mostly just covering up that set information and things of that nature, just to keep that a secret.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Just because I don't see there being anything more. I think it is literally just what it says, banish chosen character. So I don't think there's anything new to that. It's just like the set symbol and stuff as well.
Yeah, the lack of the lore icons does add in some does kind of kill some ideas for some of the crazier theory crafting ideas. Like one that I threw out was that the pips were actually a secondary deck building mechanic, and you could only have so many pips in a deck or something of that nature, just for funsies. And this card kind of kills that. I mean, not necessarily, because you could still go that way, and maybe some action cards are more powerful and have pips, or maybe all action cards don't have them and it's just your characters that are limited. So it's not completely dead, but it's pretty dead. So that's pretty interesting, and it does kind of lend credence to the idea that the pips are the win condition, and it is somehow related to the characters themselves going on quests, because actions obviously wouldn't go on quests. There's things you do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's some other things we noticed, like something that's been going on in Discord and being talked about is the shape around the cost. It's not that spiral that we have on the characters, it's just a normal hexagon. So that could mean something. Is there a different way to play this card, or is it signifying, okay, the swirl means it's a glimmer and that's a character, but then the regular hexagon is just an action, you play it and it goes on the board and it happens and it gets resolved right away. I personally think it's just a different way to tell what a type of card is. Because if you have the cards in your hand and you're looking at the top, you say, oh, I see a swirl here, that's a character. I see it just regular hexagon, that's an action. And maybe if we have another type of card, there's going to be a different little thing in the top left corner that signifies what that is. So that's my prediction for what that means.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just a user interface feature.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that same boat. I do not see, especially since we don't see the pips on these cards. I know some people speculated that being another resource, so I don't think it's going to be anything different cost wise. I do think it's just like simple indicator of this is an action, and just a way to help, especially new players, just have that extra level of being able to identify a card in multiple ways, especially when you get your hand full. We don't even know how big our hands can get. And with a big old hand, you can get confused with what exactly you have there.
Yeah, I think another thing to point out is some people were theorizing that actions or songs or spells or whatever you want to call them would be colorless, so they could be in any deck. And there might still be some that are, but this card clearly indicates that it is a Ruby card, so that is worth noting as well. So actions, at least some of them, are going to be color specific. So we'll see how that plays out with the resource system and everything else in spring 2023, I assume.
Yeah. And then like the little last thought that we had was it's the same ability name from Maleficent's card, which is interesting, but it says on Maleficent's card specifically on opponent's characters, but this card says chosen character, so it could be a card, any card on the board, which could mean it's our own card, or it could be your opponent's card. And like I could see like something say like if you have your card that you play down and you play Dragonfire to banish your own card, like a chain reaction happens. I guarantee you there'll be something like that. And if that's what this means, that would be really cool because now it adds a lot more strategy, I think. When you have to like think, okay, I maybe want to play this card in this deck, so I get this reaction. But maybe it help. Maybe like if you banish your own card, it helps your opponent in a way, but it also then helps you in a better way to get the win con. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the times you're going to be banishing your own character are probably going to be few and far between. But at the same time, there is potential there. You know, did give you that flexibility to lock you in to only banishing your opponent, which is always nice.
Yeah, this kind of feeds into the idea back when it was revealed that we were going to get two colors. This is the kind of card where it'll serve different functions depending on what color you potentially pair up with, like in blue, not a blue, in a ruby and amethyst deck. You're probably wanting to control your opponent's board, so you're using this card to get rid of your opponent's characters. But maybe in a ruby emerald deck, emeralds have these tricky features where they're going to benefit from being destroyed or something weird like that, and they'll benefit you in that way. So this card will function very differently depending on what deck you have that in. So I like the flexibility of that.
Yeah, and it really depends on the quote unquote spell speed that it plays at, which we don't know. So our actions only on your turn, only during main phases. Um, like sorceries in Magic, are they more like instants where you can play them at any time? Because that can change things up. Because, say, for example, maybe there's a card that if your opponent kills or banishes one of your characters with their character, then they get so many lore points. Well, then you target, if this is an instant speed, you could instead, when they challenge that character, then Dragonfire it to banish it so that they don't get that lore. You know, different little interactions like that, just depending on how the game is set up and how much interaction there is at different speeds and on different turns. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. And then the last little thing I had was that so we've had in the community, we've been theorizing that these spell type of cards would actually be songs, just because of some little hints and things that have come through the various lore stuff. Now, I do think there's still a place for songs in the game, and I think those are probably going to take more of the enchantment role in from Magic the Gathering, as in they are non-character permanents that are going to have some kind of uh, static world effect or some kind of exert effect or something of that nature. But basically, I think songs can easily be some kind of static permanent, since they are not the non-permanent cards in the game, since that is taken up by actions, it would seem.
Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. Maybe even something kind of like the Tamers in Digimon, where you put them on the field and then exert them to gain some extra effect from them.
Well, that was our little comprehensive quick review over the new card we just got. And we really hope that we get more cards like this in the future, these small reveals. It gives us more to talk about, it gives us more to theorize about until that spring 2023 announcement comes, where we will be getting the gameplay and hopefully a lot more information. So we hope you all enjoyed, and we can't wait for the next one. Thanks for listening to that Glimmer Bomb, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it, and we can't wait to bring you guys more of these as more news gets released. Thanks, and Glimmer on.